Hey all, and welcome back to HFC All-Stars. Today is day 7, and today we're going to be playing Astro's Playroom, followed by Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. So I guess it's a loosely space-themed kind of day. Now, why did I choose Astro's Playroom? Well, I like it, first and foremost. We do have a playthrough of it on the channel. That was basically my blind run, pretty much. And I just love gaming history as a whole. I was one of those saddos who did the console generations as a project when I was in college. Thankfully, my professor found it intriguing. Don't fucking tut at me, Flame. I could hear you back there. You know what we're like. But also, there's an aspect of preservation here, which I've always enjoyed. It's why I've never had a problem with the amount of ports that come to modern-day consoles. Gaming history, and just history in general, should be preserved for future generations and whatnot. And Astro's Playroom is basically a museum for the PlayStation legacy. But instead of waffling about it, why don't I just show you?
Yep, and while you get into the new game, I will let everyone know what we're doing this marathon. We are here raising money for the charity Child's Play. Child's Play are a charity who provide toys and games to children who are in the hospital long term, just to make their stay a little bit more bearable and whatnot.
Yeah.
If you would like to contribute to the cause, you can click the donate button just below the Twitch stream window, or you can use this little prompt in the chat here, !donate. And it brings up a link to our Tiltify page. So you can donate through that and all the money goes straight to the charity. We also have a Sonic Frontiers raffle ongoing. So if you would like to be entered to win a copy of the game on Steam, just donate $5 or more and let us know you want in, and I can note you down. That is $5 per entry. So if you want multiple entries, if you, like, say, donate $10, you get 2 entries and so on and so forth. And yes, this is the main gimmick for Astro's Playroom. It uses the new DualSense controller gimmicks, including the microphone, so you might occasionally hear Tom having to make noises into it.
Well, that's just me talking, you know. I don't like to refer to my commentary as just white noise, Flame.
I didn't say white noise, I just said general noises.
Well, I am white, and I do make noise, so that would technically be white noise, I guess. But yeah, this is also, in addition to being a celebration of the PlayStation legacy, kind of a tech demo for the new DualSense controller. So you'll see me using the adaptive triggers, the microphone, etc. as we go through. Since I have played this before, I'm going to try and go as fast as possible without messing everything up. Not really a speed run, more of a Tom run than anything.
A run that's slightly better than a blind run, but that's about it. So
yeah.
But yeah, this is a free-to-download game if you have a PS5, so you know, we'll show it off over the course of the marathon, but I do strongly recommend downloading it and playing it, because it's just a really good time.
It comes with every PS5, so you don't really have an excuse to not play it.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, you hate 3D platformers, in which case, are you even a gamer?
Do you just hate fun?
Oh. All hail the PS1.
Alright, so are we going to be going in release order?
You know what, Flame? I think we will. So, let's kick things off with Memory Meadow, also known as PlayStation 1 Land.
Yes, this is a system that I personally never had, so this is old people stuff. Tom, what do you think of the PS1?
Well, it's got such great series as Crash, Spyro, you got Tekken on there, you got Medieval. Just a really, really strong console. Equally as good as the N64, if not better, in a lot of areas, because Lord knows the N64 didn't really have much in the way of RPGs going on, unless you want to play, you know, Holy Magic Century, or Quest 64, as I believe it's also called.
Yeah, I think you did just list off both of the N64 RPGs.
Well, it's the same one, just by different names. And as we go through here, you will see guys with cameras. They basically denote very, very obvious references. This is Flower, I believe.
Yeah, that's actually a game that I find kind of ironic being here, given the fact that the PlayStation version is terrible, but the PC version does away with the 6-axis control, so it's actually fun.
Now, when you say terrible, Do you just mean that you don't like motion controls, period?
No, I mean that the motion controls are especially fiddly even by motion control standards. Because it's like using the PS3's like, what was it, 6-axis that, you know, you tilt the controller around and it occasionally catches up with what you're trying to do.
I thought you were going to say dual shit for a second there. Like, come on. We're not in the console wars anymore.
Wait, the war's over?
Oh, it's over, soldier. You can go home. There's Medievals with Sir Dan. I like the PS1 memory cards being used as gravestones there.
Yeah, bless. That's part of gaming history I'm glad isn't much of a thing anymore.
Why, you're not a fan of memory cards?
More the fact that it's something else that you would need to buy and then replace, given that the official ones they give you with it, basically every system that uses them, tend to be very tiny.
Okay. Remember when Animal Crossing for the GameCube came with I know this is Nintendo, but fuck it, I'll bring it up anyway. Remember when it came with a memory card? Because Animal Crossing needed the whole 52 blocks.
I never played that, but Pokemon Colosseum did the same thing.
So yeah, as we go through, we will actually be collecting peripherals and such from PlayStation's past, hence the museum aspect. Honestly, the only thing I could criticize Astro's Playroom for, and it's hardly a criticism, more of a preference really, is that there's no, like, encyclopedia with stuff written about this kind of thing, like when the release date came out and stuff like that.
That would be neat, but at the same time, it's like they're showing rather than telling with this sort of stuff, which makes sense.
I guess so. Death Stranding, man.
Yeah, Death Stranding right there.
Tearaway, not a game I've played before.
No, I think that was a Vita game, wasn't it?
Sounds about right. There we go.
I haven't played it, and I really heard nothing about it, so that usually means it's a Vita game.
Honestly, after the PS2, my Sony knowledge kind of grinds to a standstill. Like, PS3, I couldn't name a killer app if you put a gun to my head. Same with the Vita, honestly.
The thing with the PS3 is that pretty much any of the big hitters, you know, like Last of Us was a big one, and even like back in the day, the Quantic Dream games were quite a big deal for Sony. Like, they've all been ported forward now, so it's like, it's great that these consoles are now available, these games are now available even, but you know, when you look back at the PS3, it doesn't really have much of an identity of its own.
I'm not going to like stand around and point out every single reference. You guys are smart enough to be able to pick out what they are.
Well, I'm going to be the dumb one and say that, yeah, I just saw Ico and I feel smart because I recognise the thing.
Oh.
I applauded.
Man, I really want like an Ico/Eco collection, but it seems like they're only interested in doing Shadow of the Colossus and not. Well, I think the last Guardian's been ported, but don't quote me on that.
He hasn't had a proper port, but it's backwards compatible on the PS5, so
Right.
like you can still play it either way. But yeah, like I actually do quite like the remake that they made for Shadow of the Colossus. It's one of them ones where I understand why it was contentious, because it does have a very different look and feel to it. But I see it as different rather than necessarily worse, you know? It's just a different take on the game.
Very cool. So I guess you're perfectly fine with Blue Point's take on Dark Souls then?
It was Demon Souls they remade, wasn't it? Like I haven't played any of the Souls games, so I don't really have a opinion there.
Fair enough, mate, fair enough. Oh, the origami killer has struck again! I believe if you stand under here long enough, you'll get an achievement called Jason!
Beautiful.
Now, folks, we are trying to raise 5k for Child's Play here, so we've actually got some incentive milestones to try and tempt the dollars out of your wallets, so to speak. For every £1,000 we raise, there will be a new day of stream playthroughs added to the end of the main block. You've done 2 so far, thank you very, very much. And these are, on day 1, we'll have Metal Gear Rising Revengeance along with Fez, and on day 2 we have that RPG classic Chrono Trigger. Day 3, should you unlock it, will be Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, so if you want to see that on the stream, we've got to get up to $3,000 for it. But yeah, Rex, you are right. Uncharted was another big deal for the PS3 at the time. So,
Yeah.
like, it's not that they didn't have games, it's just that they didn't... Like I was saying, they've been ported forward, but also at the time there was a very different kind of attitude towards Sony. Like, they pissed away a lot of their goodwill in the early days of the PS3, and it kind of took a little while for it to catch back up.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the stuff that was released early on just sort of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, that one E3 did not help them in the slightest. Someone actually put up a HD copy of that conference. I don't know if we have a link to it on hand, Flame, but that's gaming history as well, so I would definitely recommend, if you've never seen it, you've only seen like the memes out of context, you go give it a watch, because it needs to be seen to be believed.
Yeah, it was like the entire lead up to the PS3 was a bit of a mess to start with. You know, like there were a lot of unrealistically high expectations. I remember a lot of the talk about it was about how it was going to be this massive like supercomputer thing, and then we got to that E3 conference where they fumbled a lot of the game showcases and announced that it was going to be $599 and that kind of just shot it in the foot, really.
Yeah, don't forget battles based on real history. Anyway, here's this giant enemy crab.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So yeah, just basic peripherals I'm pretty sure you've all seen before, but maybe we'll find a few you haven't as we go through. I know the mouse for the PS1 was something I never knew about at the time. But the PlayStation things that have, if I turn it around, how do I turn it around? There we go. Yeah, the black ooze.
I'm not sure whether that was of any benefit to the disc itself, whether it was some like sort of like scratch protection or anything, but it's just such a distinct part of the PS1 disc, isn't it?
Yeah. Did we have that BIOS? Like when you just opened up the PlayStation without anything in?
I don't know. Like I say, I never had a PS1 myself.
Yeah,
so
why am I asking
I have
you?
no memory.
Yeah.
Like, I know the PS2 had one, but like the original system, I have no frame of reference for.
Fair enough.
And even like, I know a lot of the PS1's main identity comes from like the early 3D games, but to me, whenever I go back to play PS1 games, the ones that come to mind are usually like the 2D games, like say the PS1 Mega Man games, things like that. Which is kind of strange, given like I know that for a while Sony weren't that fond on developers making 2D games on the thing because they were trying so hard to push the 3D capabilities.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, really. Alright, let's see how I'm doing here. 4 of 4. That's where I am now. 3 of 4. Interesting.
So what have we gone past?
Yeah, I could have sworn I got them all, but chat, maybe I am slipping in my old age, and I've got to have all of my artifacts. Well, more chance to grab coins and whatnot, so that'll just help with artifacts down the line.
Yeah, because there's some of the collectibles that you find in levels like we're doing here, but there's also some other goodies that you can buy later on.
Now, if you get twatted in the head with a candy, you actually unlock an achievement called Pain, I believe.
Oh, cool.
You watch, you'll be somewhere just out of the way.
Well, I mean, it always kind of is, isn't it? But yeah, Kurenai, it is a great tech demo for the PS5. It's mostly showing off the controller gimmicks and that, which I'll say I like some of what they're doing in this game. There are like I think I did quite quickly go and turn off the like controller, like the trigger pressure thingy, because I found that a bit annoying once I started playing other games.
Coward.
I'm just saying, I I like gaming to be simple. I like to veg out and just play the game and not think too hard.
Yeah, I think thinking too hard is a problem for both of us, Flame. I'm fairly sure it's up there, and if so, I don't know how I managed to miss it, per se.
Same way you missed that cloud.
Ah, good. You're just going to be doing this for the whole run?
Not the whole run.
Okay. Just the parts that hurt me the most, then. I got it. I see your game, Mr. Flame.
You have to time this stuff strategically, you know.
To when it stings the most. That's Hot Shot's goal for everyone's golf, I believe. This might be the one that I missed.
Alright.
Nope. Well, shit. To be fair, it has been a good year or so since I actually played Astro last. Boom, boom, boom. More coins for me.
Doesn't it? I'm trying to find it in a guide, but not having much luck.
Don't worry about it.
So I remember we got the PlayStation controller. Did we get the mouse?
We did, yes.
Okay, I think that's all it's showing here for that.
Now stop blowing! Don't you say a goddamn thing. Ow.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, sure. I'm watching you.
I know we got the game disc. Did we get the memory card artifact?
I'm pretty sure.
Ah, because the only ones I'm seeing so far are the PlayStation controller, PlayStation mouse, memory card, and game disc.
I think I know what it is we actually might have missed. It's this over here.
Okay.
Memory Meadow, yeah, 4 of 4, and then we got all of those. Very good.
Oh, they're different things. I was getting them confused, like thinking they were what unlocked the artifacts. That's my bad.
No, that's my bad for not telling you what is the correct thing to look up.
It's fine, we can both be fucking idiots. We're good at this.
Good.
Share the responsibility around.
Ace Combat, I think?
I think so, yeah.
Nope, Spyro again. Kind of funny, actually. I joke about Spyro, but he's one of the smaller cameos in the game.
Yeah, I think that like they're trying to get everything in, so even like the big franchise in that, they've got to share the screen a little bit, you know.
Yep, SS Speedway's next.
That's the PS2 level.
Sekiro? Yeah, Sekiro.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say, I'll need that cloud, thank you. Nearly lost my momentum there. Oh, now there's an artifact for you. The PS1 LCD monitor.
Yeah, well, I know that these kind of gimmicks were quite common around that time. Like, I think there was one for the GameCube that came out a little while after that. Like, you can just play the games like with a built-in screen. It's the sort of thing that there's not really much demand for now. That you know, the Switch is handheld. A lot of people play games on their phones as well. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I get you, mate. Oh yes, and the electric guitar kicks in.
Nice. Well, I say that, but they are like Sony are trying to do that, you know, controller that has a screen in it thing that for some reason needs to be powered by the Wi-Fi and streamed to it, which seems kind of dead on launch.
Well, you know, Sony loves copying Nintendo, and Nintendo just loves doing its own thing. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. Infamous.
I'm not sure. But the thing is, like, it's not even copying Nintendo, because, like, if they did a Switch equivalent, you know, like if it were a games console that could also work as handheld, like, I would get that because like there's a big market for that. But the thing is, because this thing needs to be tethered to a standard PS5, it kind of defeats the point of having a handheld system because it's got to be within range of said PS5. So it's literally the thing you use when you're slightly too lazy to turn your TV on.
Well, that's kind of me, honestly. That's why I game on the Switch so much.
Fair, but at least then you can still play the games without the input lag that comes from streaming it from another system.
Hell yeah, the multi-tap.
Yes, the thing where we only put 2 sockets on the console itself, so you have to buy another thing to play 4-player.
Okay, so we got the artifacts. Now we just need one more thingamadoodah. Jigsaw piece in English.
Yeah. Every puzzle piece location, let me see.
Don't worry, I know where pretty much most of these are.
Didn't stop you running past the last one.
Well, I thought it was an artifact, sue me.
Yeah. Fair. God, I love 20 CRT as the swamp here.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be doing a 3D platformer, calling back to Mario isn't really a bad thing, let's be honest.
No, it's like Mario 64 kind of did set a lot of the conventions.
Apparently this dude was a character in Astro's rescue team, or whatever it was called, on the Vita. You know, where Astro originated.
Was it the Vita or was it that VR game?
Ah, yes, it might be PlayStation VR, actually.
Yeah, the one thing that I have even less interest in than motion controls.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, we know where Flame stands right now. What's this about Switch 2 might contribute with Epic Games? What does contribute mean here?
I am at a point where anytime I see rumours about a potential Switch follow-up, I will just mentally check out, because it's been like the same thing of people just guessing and speculating for like the last 5 years now.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, really. Just pull your finger out and get on with it. Oh my god, oh Jesus Christ. Thankfully, if you hold down on the pad, which I'm using to control this, you can stop on a dime.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes this not quite Spimble tier.
I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't know where Astro originated. If you say he originated on one thing, maybe he did.
Gonna look it up, because I've seen a few different things come up.
I'm trapped in a pinball wizard wonderland.
There's worse ways to go.
I guess. Oh boy, here we go. Hardest part of the level. Fuck.
Okay, so apparently there was a 2013 game called the Playroom, which used some augmented reality minigames, and that's where a lot of the characters originated from that would then go on to be used in the PS4 VR game and then this.
Okay.
So they've been around in the background for a while.
Very cool. First time, baby.
Now you're gonna hit that bouncer and get pinged off, aren't you?
Shut the fuck up. I move it, it moves it. Oh, very cool. That was a friendly. That was a friendly bumper. You don't know what you're talking about, Flame. Fuck. Yes, I do remember the PS1 before analog controllers, because I had mine stolen.
Oh, fun.
Yes, fun indeed. So I didn't mean to bring the mood down, I was just stating a fact.
No, like, I feel like not having the analog sticks ready to go to start with kind of makes a lot of the early 3D games very hard to go back to. Because stuff like... I know for some reason when they re-released the Crash and Spyro games on the PS3, like some of the games they didn't use the versions that have been updated to account for the analog sticks, which was a really fucking weird decision.
Ooh. Oh.
There it is.
All these years later, it still feels like God coming down and giving you a gentle pat on the head.
But for me, it's the Dreamcast one that gets me.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Okay, Bumper Broadway. Yeah, we got everything.
Nice.
PS1 opening or Game Boy Advance opening? PS1.
And the Game Boy Advance one's alright, but it's just that bit too quick for it to stick with you, I feel. But the GBA was the other system that I played a lot of stuff on around that sort of time, so that does still linger. Yeah, like the Sonic Advance games, the Pokemon games and whatnot.
And at the end of every level you get the console of that generation.
Nice. There are the revised versions of each console that show up in the game, but you have to get them in the main hub world rather than here. So like you can get like the tiny little PS1 as it was branded.
Oh yeah. Very Diddy. I wouldn't slam your console on the floor like that, but that's just me.
Yeah. That's the thing about playing with PlayStation games, it doesn't have the Nintendium.
No, then again, Nintendo doesn't really have the Nintendium these days.
No, like the Switch hardware's fucking shit, but I feel like I've hammered that point in plenty over the last few years.
So yeah, you can play with all the stuff here, just fuck about with it.
Bye. You just launched some fuckers. Did they land anywhere?
Don't worry about it, they're fine.
Oh, there we go.
I believe over here he's actually playing with the PAL PS1 stuff. See, right there.
Oh, poor bastard.
There's Spyro, there's my boy.
See, there's like pretty much everything in this room here that you can unlock has some tiny little detail to it like that, and it's little things like that that show that, like, yeah, it's a tech demo game, it's short, and it's just something they give you for free.
Yeah.
But this has fucking soul. He's playing like the dance pad stuff. Oh, of course.
I wanted to time that after you said Soul. I was hoping I wouldn't have hit flossing. But yeah, the D-pad has Astro do different dance moves and whatnot.
Oh, bless.
And of course, my favourite, the Carlton. By the way, if you pay attention to the walls, you see what it is yet?
Yeah, you got your... They're the PSP slots, aren't they?
Possibly. I'm seeing two very PSP-esque shoulder pads.
Yeah, it's got the mini USB that wasn't actually a charger despite USB being able to transmit power. It was just used to like put music and photos and shit on the PSP itself.
So yeah, this is what we use the coins for. The gacha machine. No UMD, OMG.
I remember that thing coming out and I really didn't get it at the time because that was a PSP that was digital only. And I still don't like that being a thing, but especially back then, like there was so little demand for digital games compared to physical ones. It just seemed like a wasted idea.
Smart says PS1 or PS2 opening or GameCube opening.
For me personally, GameCube, but you know, I have a bit of a sway there.
Yeah, if I had to pick, I'd go PS1, GameCube, PS2.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
Like for me, I'll say that the 6th gen in general, like the stuff that I played during that time, I really liked. But that was also a period of time where my parents weren't exactly in the best position to be buying me loads of games, so I didn't really have many different games. I was sticking to my Sonic and my Pokemon most of the time.
That's fair, mate.
Yeah, this capture does show off the dynamic triggers here. You get a bit of force as you pull down on the lever. And here we watch Tom develop a gambling addiction.
Oh, like I don't have one already. Portable cameras, that'll never catch on.
Unfortunately, it did. I love them.
2 in a row! That's gacha for you, I guess.
I feel like the dynamic triggers are a thing you either like or you don't like, to be fair. Like, I see where the appeal is, you know, like, if you play in the more story-driven games and there's, like, an immersive cutscene that they want you to do, like, a quick-time reaction to, and it's got a bit of force. Like, that makes sense if you consider the direction that a lot of the, like, AAA games on the PS5 go for. But, like, for me, I was just swinging around in Spider-Man Miles Morales and I was like, I'll turn that off.
Damn you, Flame. Damn you. Botapod. Is Knack. That's my response to Knack.
I still haven't played that, but I kind of want to, given, you know.
I watched a playthrough of the first game. Boring as heck. Second game, though, it's got some spice. It's got some riz to it.
You say that, but remember I am the unironic Sonic Rivals fan here.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why we get on so well. You can put up with boring, bland, imperfect pieces of shit.
I like that we sit comfortably as the Sonic Rivals of Let's Play channels.
God, ain't we just?
We technically fill the quota. We upload videos.
We do. You can never argue against that. We technically do. Anyway, welcome to PS2 Land.
Yeah. This opening section very obviously based off the BIOS load up when you first turn on a PS2.
Yeah, baby.
It's kind of aesthetic.
Is that it? That's all you got to say about it? It's kind of aesthetic.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have as much experience. Like, the game that I remember I first played when I got my PS2 was actually the licensed Spider-Man game based on the Raimi film.
Oh, yes.
And I remember that being actually kind of fun, but that might also be because I was a small child and I got to pretend to be Spider-Man.
No, that was fun. In fact, I remember when the movie was on at the cinema, I went there and I did the code to get the Green Goblin. Actually, that was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I remember there were quite a few different character codes you could put in just to, like, play as the different characters from the film and whatnot. Which was neat until you realise that, aside from the Green Goblin who had his, like, hover thing, they were pretty much just reskins. Even when it made no sense for the character to have those powers.
Yeah. You can play as Mary Jane for some reason. Don't ask me why.
I mean, like, it's not out of character for Marvel to do, like, a load of what-if kind of things, but at the same time, you know, it's a licensed game for a particular film. It just feels a little bit odd.
Okay, so I needed to get higher for this one, because that's where the first artifact is. There we go. Perfect.
You ain't got to punch the balloon guy.
It's cool.
Oh, that's the controller for the Buzz quiz games.
Very cool. Then we have Gravity Rush over here.
Yeah, I've heard pretty good things about them games, actually.
Yeah.
They're meant to be pretty fun.
Never played them myself, but there are large swathes of PlayStation history that, while I appreciate, I've just not played myself, because, you know, the clue might be in my username, ntom64.
Yeah, I think I sort of get what you're putting down.
Oh,
but yeah, like, the first Gravity Rush game was initially only on the Vita, so I feel like it passed a lot of people by until it got, I think, a PS4 remaster.
Good.
At least you got it.
I got what I wanted. No skin off my nose. Let's just check to make sure we got it. Yes, we did.
Yeah, it does save it, thankfully. Yeah, you were getting a bit gutsy there.
Again, the more I die, the more chances for coins I get, so is it really such a bad thing?
We'll just throw away lives for a bit of extra cash.
Well, that's kind of what we're doing here at HFC All-Stars, mate. We stream for long hours, you know, forego sleep a lot of the time. For the kids. It's for the kids.
Yes, faster the longer we take, the more time he has for lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the button sword.
Oh, you saw it?
I saw a thing and it made me happy, and I am looking forward to the second part of the remake series.
Got his ass. Cannot stop me. I'm invincible.
You're invincible until you touch one little electric thing and then you'll be dead.
I was so worried I was going to eat shit and touch one.
At least, like, the game, it is one-hit kill in most circumstances, but it is balanced well enough that you're not usually going to be put back too far.
It's fine, it's not about him.
Fine.
That is a game I've never played, but apparently a lot of people recognise.
Yeah, like, I think one of my brothers had that, and I played a little bit of it. I don't remember much from it though, because it was another one of those lost in the shuffle PS3 games.
Ratchet! Yay! God, I want the sequel to Rift Apart so bad.
Yeah, there's the kill zone, guys.
There's Resistance.
Yeah. I remember playing a bit of Resistance Fallen Man multiplayer back in the day. It was one of the things of like, it's fun enough, but I also have Halo.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, we should be good to move on. Yeah. I treat Astro's Playroom like a collectathon. I have to get everything.
See, as someone who's never really been into collectathons, I'm more of a, I'm just going to wander around and see how many of these characters I recognise.
You make me sick.
I love these vocal samples. The music in this game is actually fantastic. Like, consistently, it's got these really upbeat electronic songs.
Let's go. To me, my adaptive triggers.
Alright, I remember the controls for this being a little bit funky to get used to, so let's see how you do here. I'm not sure how many coins you'd need to get all the gacha stuff, but there's a hell of a lot, so I imagine you'd be spending a lot of time picking up coins.
Web ribbon over there.
I was going to say, I like that one, because that's the subtle one that sort of snuck up on me at first.
Aha, I found you. I'll get there eventually.
Gotta be careful.
The PS2 multi-tap.
Because they still didn't give you 4 controller slots, even though they were bringing out a lot more 4-player games on the PS2.
Alas.
I'm just saying, I am slightly still in the trenches with this sort of thing after many, many years of arguing with my brother, who was more interested in the PS2 while I had the GameCube.
Nah.
And you know me, I am far too petty to let a grudge go.
War's over, soldier. War's over. Right, now it gets a wee bit harder. Not too hard.
Yeah, it's like the hard route is usually where the things are, so just if you see something that looks like it's going to kill you, go and explore it.
Improved in every way, resists even the most powerful psychics. Not physics. You'd be surprised how many people make that mistake.
It also doesn't resist magnets, so be careful about that.
Spider-Man, or as close as, you know, Marvel will let them get.
Yeah. Like, it is quite a big part of PlayStation's identity, isn't it? Even to the point of sharing the same font for the PS3 branding. Oh, that was close.
Sure was, Flame. Okay, I think we're good.
Go open the door.
3 out of 4 and both thingies. Well, the last one of those is over here.
Oh, that's sneaky.
I'm well versed in Insomniac tier collection stuff, mate, don't you worry.
I mean, it's throwing back to the right consoles for that sort of thing, isn't it? Oh, what's that for?
It's Detroit Become Robot.
Oh, is that actually what they're going for?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Look at the side of the head.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
You go away. I'm trying to focus on the better enemy. Or the more deadly one, I suppose.
Yeah, you can kill them both, it's fine.
Spoon.
Insomniac is fitting considering they're second party developers nowadays, and they kinda were back in the day, come to think of it, weren't they?
Yeah, I can't remember many Insomniac games showing up on like Xbox.
Nah, like it weren't until after like the original trilogies for stuff like Crash and that.
Well, they were made by different companies at that point.
Well, yeah, like that's the point in the gaming history where everything sort of just blurs together for me, if I'm being honest.
Wipeout.
Yeah, I remember the PS3 Wipeout game being a lot of fun. Yeah, they did do Sunset Overdrive on Xbox, that's a good point.
Yes. That was probably like the last non-Sony thing they made, I think.
Yeah, because then they got bought out officially shortly after, didn't they?
Yeah, kudos to them. It's been a good partnership.
Yeah, like the Spider-Man games in particular, I really did enjoy.
You looking forward to Spidey 2?
Oh yes, that's October, isn't it?
Yes, it is the same day as Super Mario Wonder.
Oh, of course. You got the Ico parody, haven't we?
We may also have Sonic Superstars coming out then as well.
There's a lot going on this year, aren't there?
Yeah, especially all in October, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, and Detective Pikachu returns, Jesus.
Well, I think the first Pokemon DLC is September, isn't it?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, that checks out. So, like, they're kind of covering their ground there, I know.
I haven't played the main game yet, which, like I mentioned in my reaction for the recent Pokemon Presents, kind of unheard of for me.
It might be worth waiting till the DLC's out and you can kind of integrate that along the way, because if I remember from Sword and Shield, like, obviously we'd already played it and we just did the DLC stuff as a post-game thing, but you could still do stuff out of order. So that might leave you open, like when you eventually do the LP, to kind of do things in a different order to what people have seen already.
I was a big fan of the iToy, especially Sega Superstars, not to be confused with Sonic Superstars.
Yeah, I do remember the Sega Superstars game for that. Like, I remember playing that for a little bit, then after a while it became impractical to play it, given we no longer had room space to have, like, be able to move around that much.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, I completely forgot there's one more wave of Mario Kart DLC to come out. And we have the Sonic DLC, and there's the Rayman DLC for Mario & Rabbids.
Oh yeah, like, the Sonic Frontiers DLC That I am looking forward to that, because like the first 2 waves we had were the ones that were like extra challenges, extra things to show off, as well as a few quality of life things. Whereas this is the one that they've been building up to. Like, we know there's going to be different playable characters, and it looks like it's essentially going to be its own little story thing in itself. So that's the one that I've been most looking forward to. And yes, Spark says the iToy was a device that allowed for custom faces in Tony Hawk's Underground. Wink, wink. And I know what Spar is getting at, because we do have a donation bid war ongoing for his Tony Hawk's Underground custom skater. So that will be between Naruto, Armstrong, Sonic, Kairi, and Tifa. He's made some quite horrific looking custom characters based on those characters. If you've got a choice on which one you want to see in the run, you can just donate, and make sure you pick the poll option when you make your donation.
By Armstrong, we mean Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising, by the way.
Yeah. And we also have another bid war ongoing for the Hat in Time run. That will be for whether Spar plays through Queen Vanessa's Manor as the game intends, or whether he uses the skip to bypass it. So if you've got a preference on whether you want to see that level or not, you can get your money in. And I will say we are currently at $2,057.15. Remember, if we manage to get up to $3,000, we'll be unlocking a run of Kena Breach of Spirits. So if you want to see that game, you can get your money in.
Yes, and if you can't donate, please link us on Twitter to any big names you might know. Anyone who could like bring in a lot of donations, that would be very much appreciated. I don't know where the thing that I missed was.
Okay, well, let me see if I can find the page. What is it? Is it a jigsaw piece?
It is a jigsaw piece. Don't worry, I will go through lickety split.
Okay.
It's not there. Fantastic juggling, Dante. Absolutely amazing. Okay, get rid of those. More coins for me.
Apparently the second one's close to the first one. Does it show you which ones you've got and which ones you haven't?
I'm not entirely sure on that front, mate, to be honest.
Okay, this is going to get a lot harder to follow.
I was worried for a second it would be on top of the satellite.
Oh.
They do like to be very sneaky with these sometimes. It's alright, they're fine. Not about them.
They can fly. Did you get the one that's near the bouncy pillows?
Aha! I found it.
There it is. Yeah.
Bouncy pillows.
Yeah, like the pillows that bounce you up. Apparently there was one behind that, but you must have already got it.
I always gotta be watching out for you. With your weird ways.
You're the one who made it weird.
Sure, Flame. Sure I did. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna have so much gacha after this.
Yeah, it was right about the gambling addiction.
Hey, come on. I don't have an addictive personality.
Okay.
That is completely untrue. That is probably the biggest lie I have ever told, even if it wasn't just.
Sometimes it's relieving that you're so bad at lying.
Yeah.
Like, you can just hear in your voice when you're saying something that's bullshit.
That keeps me honest, so I haven't got any complaints. Nailed it, first try.
I believe you.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, I never had this one. I had the original fat model. I actually still have somewhere in this room here, I think it's in the box, but that's one of the ones that gets rotated. Right now, my older system that's out is still my old Dreamcast.
Less. Okay, I've got it. No need to worry. That actually helped. Oh.
That didn't help.
Yeah, okay, fine. Why you always gotta accentuate the negative? Why can't you be supportive?
I'm just helping in my own way.
Why don't you do something worth commenting on, Tom? Then I'll be supportive.
You said it.
I sure did. Oh god, he's frozen. Again, not about him.
There's a lot of people suffering a lot of misfortune here, I've noticed.
There sure is, Flame. The neighbours will be thrilled.
Especially since I can't sing for shit.
Same. Can barely talk. You think I can hold a note? Ooh, hee hoo ha 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 da.
Yeah.
That was scary. Doesn't matter, got what I wanted.
As long as you get the thing, that means you can take the safe route next time.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we got everything in this section? Nice. Was that the old style PS2 couldn't play some of the later Guitar Hero games? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I remember this boss taking a while actually. You gotta pay attention to where his laser's at.
I gotta pay attention. Fuck that noise.
Yeah, but I mean, you've also got to pay attention to the cannonballs coming at you and where the thing you've got used is and it's one-hit kill.
Yeah, yeah. But again, when you're loading so fast, does it really matter?
No, like, in a way, I think it's a subtle little trick just to showcase just how good the SSD loading here is.
Oh, of course it is.
Like, this is the thing that I think is the most important enhancement from this generation. The fact that both of the main consoles now have an SSD drive. Because it's like a massive game changer, isn't it?
Oh god, I'm stuck in the game chamber.
I can't talk either, don't worry. Yeah, even for massive games like Final Fantasy 16, like Svar says, it just, if you die, it puts you back immediately. And that's especially important now that it's like a feature that consoles have, because it means that even games on PC now, they can start to account for the fact that that's going to be a more common thing. They don't have to worry about designing games with like super outdated consoles in mind.
Sorry, I'm kind of choking a little bit here. Well, I let him blow himself up, so that's the main thing.
As long as he dies, I don't mind how it happens.
Make sure you turn around here.
What are they doing?
Bot of war. Boy. Boy.
You're now imagining them cute little robot people playing the sex mini games.
No, I'm not.
You are, that thought enters your head and there's nothing you can do about it.
No!
There's the monolith itself.
Very nice. Would you believe it? That's half the game done.
It is a very short game, but you know, it is still like a free demo game in itself, so it makes sense.
I would argue it's the best packing game ever made. Like, I'm being dead serious when I say that.
I would say tried with Wii Sports, because I think Wii Sports did a fantastic job of immediately showcasing the, like, not only the new technology of the system, but also it introduced itself to the demographic that Nintendo were after. It's like the immediate, you know, you can invite your family over and play this kind of game. So I think they're both kind of on par, but for different reasons. Anyone ever have their PS2 sat vertical? I think I did at one point, but nowadays, wherever possible, I like to have things sitting horizontal because I worry about them getting knocked over.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I have my PS5 stood vertical right now, but that's because there's literally no more space for stuff on my desk. But that's also like pushed up against, like, as close as I can get it to the wall, it's still having like fan room. So that should be safe up there, but anything else, you know, I like to have it horizontal.
PSP microphone. Remember home?
PlayStation Home.
Yeah.
There's the launch model PS3.
There's all the prototype logos for the PlayStation.
Isn't PS Home technically still online supported?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
I could swear I saw an article at one point about how PlayStation Home still had more people online than the Facebook Meta thing. Not officially, but like I take it there's third-party workarounds, so that makes sense.
Did you know you could do this?
Yes, I did. Like, I think the intended purpose for that was so that it'd like hold the disc in place if you had it the other way around, wasn't it?
No, I think it's just so the branding could be on point at all times.
Yeah, fair. I always make sure it matched however I had it, but that's also because I have my own reasons, which you can probably figure out.
Oh, yes indeed, yes indeed. Yes indeed, Solar Popstar, it is time for the cooling hot springs. Or just the cooling springs, whatever it's called.
Yeah, this is a much more open level, I remember, than the last couple.
And, you know, no offense to the designers and the animators and everyone else, probably my least favourite level in the game, but the PS3 generation, no disrespect to the HFC mods that actually pulled together and got me that for one of my birthdays years ago. This is my least favourite Sony generation.
Yeah, it really didn't strike the landing as well as it could have.
No. That's you, Spa. Cooling springs.
At least we get a slide. It's just a shame that the other gimmicks in this level aren't quite as fun. Wait, are we waterproof? We should have checked that first.
I think we're gonna be fine. I need more coins for more gacha. Boy, 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 boy.
I love these.
You thought you could hide from me? From me?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff around here that we have to get before we can move on to the next part.
The PS3 controller didn't really feel all that great either.
The first models were really bad, like the plain 6-axis ones. When they brought in the DualShock 3 models that just sort of had the motion controls on top of what was basically a PS2 controller, it was a bit better. But honestly, I've never really liked the DualShock design as a whole, or just like the PlayStation controller design. So, you know, like I'm still... If I'm given a chance, especially for 3D games, I'd rather just use like the Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox kind of layout.
Why am I doing this stream with you, Flobe?
Because I like this game.
I like game. Game good. No. You thought you had something, you have nothing, mate.
The DualShock 4 is a pretty nice controller. I think the new DualSense one, just as a standard controller, is like a slightly better version of that. Mainly because it feels sturdier. Because like the PS4 controllers, like it's a very comfortable controller to hold when you're playing like side-scroller games and that. But it also feels a lot more plasticky than the newer ones. Like it feels like it's more likely to break on you.
That's how I feel about the PS3 one.
The early models in particular are really bad for that, yeah. Yeah, basically what Spar's saying is I'm here because everyone else is busy.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
I mean, isn't that why I'm here for most HellfireComms?
Oh, shush. Well, I'm not saying I don't enjoy your company, I'm just saying someone who enjoys Sony more would have been more ideal, but hey, we work with what we have.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a proper going away holiday in many a year.
Same, but also I don't really like leaving my house, so I'm not complaining about that at all.
Fair enough. Concrete Genie. I never bothered to figure out if that was good or not.
I didn't know that was a thing.
We are very different levels of ignorance here, Flame. Alright, so 2 more jigsaw pieces. There's 1.
Yeah. Gotta work your way up there.
Where is the other?
And that's the way you need to go to progress, so it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
You got 3 of them, right?
Yes, 3 out of 4.
Okay. Just got the one on the umbrella. Did you get the one right round the back behind the blue pillar?
Yes.
Okay. I remember you get the one that's underneath the little brown box. So the other one on the east side of the beach, near the checkpoint. There's the 3 wires that you need to tug on a platform where you were just facing.
Ah, okay.
Left a bit more.
Oh, I see, yes.
There you go.
Nice. East? I thought you said Weast.
That's that other location.
So east, right? But north.
No, the other east.
Ah, you're over east. I'm definitely feeling the summer vibes.
I am, unfortunately, because I'm fucking melting right now.
You know you can have your fan on, right?
I can't, because when I tested it earlier, it was getting picked up by the mic. But I have the window open today, at least.
Well, I have my fan on and it gets picked up on the mic, so...
Yeah, but I'm the one who has to clean it all up.
Yeah, but you can clean up your own stuff. What a fucking liberty.
I'd rather slightly inconvenience myself and bitch about it, okay? Oh, there's Fat Princess.
Uh-huh. Duke.
Judging by this, it looks like they're all in the side-scrolling section.
Yes, that sounds about right. It is time to bounce.
Yeah, there's a point, the PS2 probably would have been more fitting for a beach level given the kind of games from that generation.
Yeah. Obviously, all the levels in Astro's Playroom represent different portions of the PS5. So you had the SSD, you had the memory stuff. This is the cooling part of it.
Yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want a Nintendo version of this.
Oh, absolutely. Nintendo have so much to work with for this kind of thing, haven't they?
Yeah.
Although Nintendo, I feel like they're a lot more conservative about acknowledging parts of their history that they're not actively trying to sell. So I don't know how realistic it is.
Are you sure? Because like the Virtual Boy, etc., showed up as recently as Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, it's just like they're the ones. Although actually, it would make sense. It would be very Nintendo for them to show off all these things that you can't buy.
Yeah, not the truth.
Like, look at all these cool games. Do you remember this cool game that you're nostalgic for? Do you want to play it again? Well, tough luck.
Miyamoto kicks you out of a second story window.
Basically. They're dedicating an entire level to F-Zero without any actual racing or a new game.
Ugh.
You got Captain Falcon in Mario Kart, that's good enough, right?
Was he? You got a Captain Falcon costume?
Yeah, that's the closest you're gonna get.
Jesus Christ. Oh, he's ready and raring to go. They're playing Dude Raider.
Oh.
Which I believe was a fan nickname for Uncharted at the time.
That checks out, yeah.
I'm freed from my bouncy prison. For now. Hell yeah. You can't have PlayStation without Solid Snake, it's just not done.
Nah, like, Metal Gear was always one of the big ones once you got into the Solid series for PlayStation, wasn't it?
That collection that's coming out seems pretty cool. I might pick it up just to support it, honestly.
I like that they do have the older games as well. It's not just doing the big ones that are immediately going to sell, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You think I can hide from me? No.
This part of the level is absolutely beautiful.
It sure is. You know this one, Flame?
Yeah, that's the Until Dawn gang.
You fucking psychopath.
Look, okay.
No.
He annoyed me.
I'm not going to say a fucking thing. You can go watch out Until Dawn playthrough. I'm hoping to have some Halloween stuff for October, but I can't speak to that as of right now because nothing's been done.
Yeah, and we've already got a lot of stuff that we're planning. We already mentioned the games that are coming out, and you know we're going to be doing the Sonic stuff at the very least, so we're going to be busy. The PlayStation Move. That was when they tried doing the Wii thing, but it didn't work because, you know, like it weren't packaged in with the system, so it just didn't get the same support.
Alas, no.
You'll get them eventually. Yeah?
I'm actually showing you how to get an achievement.
Okay, I believe you.
Multiple spins. There it is, bot charted.
Nice.
That's a Blu-ray. I can't believe that new Final Fantasy is coming out on 2 Blu-rays.
Well, I mean, like, game sizes are getting bigger and bigger, and Blu-rays themselves are only, I think, 50 gig. So, yeah, if they're going to do a physical copy, they're going to need more.
Jesus, yeah.
Because it's like, as long as it's actually using the extra file space, I don't mind games being big. It's just when things are poorly optimized that it becomes a problem.
Alright, so we have the things, just need 2 more jigsaw pieces.
No, okay. it looks like the next two for this, once you get to the slide section, here, like this part here.
I sees it.
Nice.
This is the guy you gotta watch out for. He's gonna trick you into jumping away.
He sort of baits you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I do say that about like game file sizes. I do still understand why people get annoyed by it, given like especially the internal drives on consoles. Like most of them are still like only a terabyte, and so when the games are like 100 gig each, it kind of makes it really inconvenient if you want to juggle a handful of games at once.
God, I wonder what the internal storage is going to be like on Switch 2.
100 gig maybe.
Christ.
Like, remember how Nintendo, when the Wii U came out, and they were making a much bigger deal about having the like digital download store, and then the standard model of the Wii U had an 8 gig drive.
What a fucking clown shoes factory. Hot beach, springy spa, rigid flows. Okay.
The Wii U generation was an experience.
Sure was.
And like I was saying about how the PS3 doesn't have much of an identity, given everything's been ported forward. But like with the Wii U, it's like the handful of games that haven't been ported yet. At this point, I'm just begging for them to get put on something else, just so the Wii U can just sort of not be a thing you need to have set up anymore.
Really? Like, can we sort out Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, please? I would like to play that, thank you.
Yeah, that I know a lot of people want to play Xenoblade X. That's like the one that isn't on the Switch yet. You know, just move everything over, and then you don't need the fucking bulky gamepad thing at all. But I was talking about that, like wireless control over the screen that the PS5's doing. That's basically a better comparison to what it is than the Switch. It's basically a Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
It needs to be tethered to the thing at all times, and it needs to stream information from it. So yeah, like they're blatantly imitating the system that fucked Nintendo over for a while.
Good.
Yes, Far mentions that's what he's using to play Prime 2. Like the primary function for a lot of people now for their Wii U is an emulation device. Have we played the Cal the Kangaroo game, the new one? I played it, I got to a glitch where the music stopped playing and no amount of reloading my save, reloading the level or anything fixed that, and then I just sort of lost interest.
Wow.
Yeah. I will say thank you for the bits, but remember guys, if you want to support the Child's Play charity, please do use the donate button underneath the stream window, because the bits and subscriptions and like the Twitch features and that support the channel rather than the charity. Just to like make sure everyone knows what's what.
Yeah, we appreciate the support, but this event is in aid of someone else for a change. We're trying to be selfless and not blow up like a balloon and explode.
Yeah, that's one of our goals for this marathon. We had it written down on our document. Try not to blow up and explode.
Yeah, don't know why you put that every year, but you know, came true this year, so maybe you do know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, I have to have all the precautions in order.
Alright, so one more jigsaw, one more artifact.
You're right.
That's the puppeteer in the background, the dude with the scissors, I believe.
Oh, okay. I think this is probably my least favourite of the costumes that you can get in this game, the costume gimmicks. Just because it feels like the most fiddly to control. But there's the PSP. That was a Sonic Rivals and Maverick Hunter X player for me.
That was a Square Enix machine for me, because I had Birth by Sleep, I had Dissidia. I never got a chance to play Duodecim, but actually the first game I played, I think, was Vice City Stories.
No, fair enough. Like, I know that a lot of people liked the PSP as a JRPG machine, which checks out because it did have a lot on there. That was a bit before I got super into JRPGs personally, so like a lot of the games from that era I'm more interested in like ports and whatnot for.
Okay, so I have missed one.
Okay.
But it's cool. I can just walk back.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Flame, I want to give you, or I want you to give me, your favourite series for each PlayStation generation.
Okay, so for the PS1, I don't know, this might be a cop-out because like it's not originally a PlayStation series, but the Mega Man games, particularly 8 and X4, were a lot of fun. PS2, I'm struggling a little bit there. Like I'll say, I did enjoy the licensed Spider-Man game, but that was the era when multiplat started becoming more of a thing. So a lot of the stuff that came out on the PS2 had slightly more polished versions on the GameCube.
Okay, let's make things easier then.
That.
I get one game you associate with each generation.
Alright, well, for PS2 it's the Spider-Man game, like I say. For PS3, probably Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. PS4, Dad of War.
Yeah?
PS5 is still early days yet for the generation. I did enjoy Miles Morales on it. I haven't got around to playing Ragnarok yet, but like I do intend to. And also I've been enjoying Final Fantasy 16.
There you go.
So it's got a good start there, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, go on.
PS1, Spyro, the Spyro trilogy. PS2, the Kingdom Hearts series. PS3, let's just say the David Cage games. PS4, oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say Titanfall 2, actually.
That's fair. Like, that is a great campaign.
Actually, no, great game. But what I'm gonna say is Dad of War. I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Yeah, it was quite clearly a turning point for the direction that Sony have been going in lately, isn't it?
Bada bing. Oh yeah.
Got them all.
Sly Cooper.
Yeah. There you go, have another ride down the slide, don't we?
Hehe, wee. Parappa and Lammy. Find it kind of weird that some of their bigger franchises are the ones with the, I said it earlier, but the ones with the lesser references.
Yeah, it's just got to find good places to put everything in it. Yeah, I associate Heroes with a PS2, but not for the ideal reasons. To put it that way.
Hey, I like Kingdom Hearts 3 quite a lot, actually, but, you know, there's other more iconic games on the PS4. There we go.
Yeah, Arkham for PS3, like, that was a multi-plat though, wasn't it? So it's kind of hard to see that as, like, the PS3 game.
Yeah, PS2, for, you know, its popularity and its iconic nature, did have the weaker ports of the generation. I believe the best ones were Xbox, followed very closely by GameCube.
Yeah, like, between those two systems, it did depend on game by game, but, like, the Xbox, I think, benefited from natively supporting progressive video, and there were just a few perks of it, like, it had better specs on the whole. The PS2 was the one that kind of needed to be ported down, and it showed. And then that happened again with the PS3, because, like, the internals of the PS3 are just a big clusterfuck, so a lot of developers would primarily work on games for the 360 and then backwards port it to varying levels of success. that's the model of the PS3 I have, the super slim one.
Oh, okay.
And I have that because like, I didn't get a PS3 until much later, and that was already out. I got one of those pre-owned for like super cheap. So that's kind of how I played a little bit of catch-up. That's what I originally played like Heavy Rain Beyond Two Souls on, and just a few other bits and pieces here and there.
I got you, mate. Have I really not got the PS1 yet? Wow.
Now we've got to work on your Gacha luck.
I do.
About 8 gig one. I remember the PS3's initial distribution, like even after the initial marketing thing, that was still a bit of a clusterfuck. Because like they originally had a model that had pretty good internal storage and had PS2 backwards compatibility, but because like the way it was built for the PS2 backwards compatibility, they basically needed the entire PS2 internals in there as well as the PS3 stuff. So it was like it made it super expensive to produce, and people weren't buying it. So they had to then quickly backtrack on that and just put out a more cost-effective model very quickly afterward.
Anyway, welcome to PS4 Land, the final thing in the game. You should be probably giving Spar and Mum a heads up now, mate.
I will do.
And this is the song that was playing during the setup screen.
It's a good song, yeah. I see you got your Crash reference right over there.
Oh, Crash Banuka.
Oh, I went to type and Mumph has already said he's got the message.
Yeah.
Just double check with Spar in case he's gone AFK.
Okay. Good old Mumph is always 2 steps ahead.
Yep. Makes my job easier in a lot of ways too, because Mumph is fantastic at like the whole video production side of things. So when he turns over footage to me, it's already ready to go.
Exactly, yeah. I saw a lot of people confused about this one, but if you look at the little bouncing mascot fella, this is Dreams, I believe.
I saw a lot of talk about that. It's like a sort of sandbox thing that people make their own games inside of, isn't it? Which is cool.
And funnily enough, the story mode is actually kind of similar, at least aesthetically, to the Disney Pixar movie Dreams. Sorry, not Dreams. God, fucking saying the word that you said before. Soul.
I was going to say that'd be a bit on the nose if it was also called Dreams.
Yeah. There's the lyrics to the song that's playing right now.
That's neat. There's Alucard.
He's having a nap before Nocturne, alright? Let him sleep. Is there something here that I missed? Nope, I got the PS Move thingamabob. We're good to go.
Okay.
There's Horizon Zero Awards.
Rub it in, why don't you?
I'm sorry, but the first time he got blown the fuck out by fucking Breath of the Wild, I forget what the second one was, but man, that's a series that gets snubbed hard at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it's odd because it, like, and I don't mean this in a cynical way. I haven't played the game. I have no comment on to its quality or anything, but it looks like the kind of game that would appeal to a mass market. It just, like, I think both of the games just had really unfortunate release timings, so they got overshadowed by other things.
Bloodborne. Guys, come on. You really got to stop rushing it, man.
It's level 4, you must have some new tricks by now. Well, I suppose you can play the levels out of order, can't you? So they're probably balanced accordingly.
This could be someone's level 1, for all you know.
Yeah. Which is one of those game design things that, like, I understand the appeal of that, and it means that if you replay the game, you can have a different experience because of it. But also, it means that there's a cap on how difficult the levels can get.
I mean, I'm not playing Astro because I want a challenge, mate.
True, but like, you know, it's a 3D platform, and part of that is that there's a little bit of a subtle difficulty curve, you know?
Wow, have I really only gotten 1 out of 4? Jesus.
I mean, it is a pretty big opening area, isn't it?
It sure is, mate.
There's the not wiggler.
Yeah. Not entirely sure what these things are meant to be here.
No, it looks like it's meant to be something that's plugged into something else, but it's just not coming to me. Hey there, Crazy Harlequin. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, The Last of Us Part 1, Part 2.
Think they're gonna manage to remake The Last of Us again before the PS5 era is over?
I don't want to talk about it, frankly.
Look, they've got one game that did really well, so they're gonna get as much mileage out of it as possible.
I guess so. Uncharted, I think?
I think so.
Where am I? Oh, I had an existential crisis for a second then.
Yeah, quite a few games have had 60 FPS patches on PS5, but it's like a trend that I want to see continuing. Because like both Microsoft and to a degree Sony have been good with backwards compatibility this gen, at least the gen immediately before it. So like just buffing up the games a bit more, that's like the little extra touch that I would like to see more of. It is one of those situations where Sony, because the PS3 was such a technical clusterfuck, it is harder for them to get good backwards compatibility with PS3 era games, but it's also the kind of thing that I would like to see worked on, because their current solution, like with them being cloud based, is a bit shit. It's not so much about whether the PS5 can handle the games, like technically speaking. It's just that that's work that needs to be done, re-optimizing the games to allow for it, and whether that's a priority will vary from publisher to publisher.
For sure. Days Gone over there.
Oh, that didn't do too well for Morocco.
I know, Ben's studio have just put out like a new online streaming series about their own studio.
No, maybe not then. Oh, we got the monkey power.
Oh, it's time to go full monkey. Good stuff.
So yeah, these next 4 puzzle pieces are all during the monkey section.
Hell yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
Return!
I have returned, and it feels great.
It's on like Donkey Kong. Wasn't that fucking Blood on the Dance Floor song?
I'm not entirely sure. Well, if you had to pick one area of pop culture where I have a huge blind spot, it would be music, actually.
Well, I'll just say this much. People don't remember Blood on the Dance Floor for the music.
Jesus.
It's one of those kind of situations.
It's alright, I got it. I got it. We're good. Spin.
Yep, we got more shit over on the left there.
Ooh, you gotta be gentle. PlayStation camera, the perfect fit for your Playroom.
Yep, where we just drop the iToy name for no apparent reason.
Yeah, who cares about brands?
Oh. It does basically just look like the Xbox One version of the Kinect.
I think I might have missed one. Yeah, I think I did.
No, right. Yeah, well, you can do some more monkey climbing.
I can. I hadn't finished returning to Monk, that's my problem. Oh. It's Monkey in turn.
Oh yeah. Have we ever owned a 3D TV? I don't think any of my TVs have had 3D capabilities. It's not something that I'm interested in personally.
No, me neither.
No, it's one of those things that it seems like once every 10 years or so, someone finds a new way of doing 3D and it becomes a bit of a gimmick, but nothing seems to last as a permanent solution for 3D visuals. It's one of the things, the only system I've ever actually played 3D games on was the 3DS, and that I used it for 5 minutes and decided I'm okay, thanks.
I'll flame.
I'm just saying, looking at that, even with it on the minimal settings, it started giving me a headache, and I thought, I don't want to waste my time getting used to that when I could just play the game and enjoy it without any hassle.
So the game is fun.
The 3D is not. Yeah, Mum says that he had a 3D TV and never used it, so that kind of sums up how much demand there is for 3D stuff.
Wow. Yeah, there we go. That's a controller. Legend has it. Little robots live inside.
I think the DualShock 4 controller is the only controller I've ever had where the one given to me with the console broke on me.
Right.
That's just a summary of how plasticky and tacky they are.
Okay.
Ray Trace ruins.
Nintendo will never win because they can't do ray tracing.
Among other reasons.
Are you seriously telling me that Nintendo isn't winning this console generation?
I mean, they're winning on sales and shit, but I thought you were talking about specs.
Oh, when have specs ever really mattered in the console war, mate? Ow.
True, but also it annoys me that the sort of position they're in specs-wise with the Switch, because it's not like the Wii where it's so far behind that developers don't bother porting more high-intense games, but it is far enough behind that it has to be a consideration for developers that they're going to be making a Switch version, so their high-profile game can't race too far ahead because then it will be impractical to backport it. So it's sort of a burden just by existing, it affects game development as a whole just by being where it is.
Maybe we should go back. Return to Monkey, as it were. Just saying, if we had more Monkey games, the world as a whole would be happier. Interesting.
Nobody really knows what goes on there. Yeah, that's a fitting explanation. I can't see the Switch 2 being on par with the PS4. I think it will be on par with modern tablets. Because that's kind of what their design's going for with that.
There's your order 1866 reference right there.
Yeah, that game that came out around the same time as the PS4, got clowned on a bit and got forgotten about.
Well, obviously not, because it's here, performing for you.
Yeah.
That's Jak and Daxter, I think.
Looks like it. I forgot a member of the PS crew.
Ouch. I mean, yeah, for $10, you could not go wrong with pretty much any game, really.
Yeah, like it's more what it represented at the time that rubbed people the wrong way, because it was like we had this brand new piece of hardware that was significantly better than the one we had before, but instead of like boosting the performance, we got an excessively pretty game that still was locked at 30, and apparently the story was like the actual gameplay itself, I mean, was really vapid. So like, yeah, that was the kind of reason people weren't too pleased with it. Like, I'm sure that if you just sit down and play it now, you'd probably have a decent afternoon with it, but you know, it's context matters when it comes to game reception. Donkey Kong Country Returns didn't get a Switch port, it did get a 3DS port, so that's probably why they didn't bother putting it on the Switch when they put Tropical Freeze on it. Which is kind of a shame, because the 3DS port is one of those compromise ports, you know, like where they changed some gameplay features, like rebalanced it a bit, which it desperately needed, because I know a lot of people didn't like how unfairly difficult parts of it were. But also the trade-off for that is the 30 FPS cap that wasn't there on Wii. Which is a thing Nintendo tend to do with their ports. It's like they with a few exceptions, like the Wii U ports on Switch, they don't tend to give you like a definitive version of a game. Like the same with Luigi's Mansion as well. It's like it's there, it's accessible, but a lot of people are just still gonna play the original one. Now, Luigi's Mansion, the first game, isn't on Switch.
Nope. Wish it was.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they did put the whole series on there. They are porting the 3DS game, Luigi's Mansion 2, onto it.
Boom.
Yeah, there were a handful of N64 ports on the 3DS. Like, you had Lilac Wars ported over, you had both of the Zelda games. So that sort of worked in that respect. But yeah, like when you get to GameCube era stuff, and especially Wii era stuff, it's like you can hold on. Oh, I didn't realise that you could survive that.
Yeah, I was kind of between life and death there.
I will say with the 3DS ports, like a little while ago, Spar and I did a stream playthrough of Extra Epic Yarn, which I played on my new 3DS XL, and that performed pretty well. Like that, if you play it on the new 3DS models, then it does run at 60. It just, you know, I feel like still a lot of people would prefer the Wii version, because the 3DS one, it has the slightly slipperier 3DS controls. Oh yeah, Tom, how did you feel about the Diddy Kong Racing port on DS?
I don't want to talk about it.
Careful.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, Mario 64's had a few fan-made ports now. There's the PC one, and Adrian mentions the 3DS one. It's a shame that those won't get an official blessing, you know?
Don't think Nintendo likes being shown up is kind of a harsh way of putting it, but fuck it. And they've been anti-fan a lot. I'm going to use the term shown up.
I'm not sure how much of it is like a pride thing there. It's more like Nintendo like to have 100% control over everything. And if like fans take things into their own hands, then they don't have control over that particular product. And so that kind of hurts their business model a little bit. Not in like eating up sales, like how they would present it, and not like protecting their IP, how they would present it, but more like if they want anything done using their brand, they have completely arbitrary reasons for it to be done entirely in-house.
Sneaky, sneaky. There we go, that's all 4 of those.
That's one.
Motherfucker.
Hey, you saved it. Like, Portal's Legends, I don't entirely disagree with what you're saying there, but like they say, a bad fan game can damage the series' reputation.
No.
I don't think that's true in the grand scheme of things, but I think Nintendo see it that way.
Yeah.
Like, again, that goes back to them being very, like, control freakish over their IPs. I think that's also why they don't associate themselves with community events that much. Like, they sponsored, I think, one era of, like, Smash tournaments and then never again. And it's like, they're very careful about, like, what kind of headlines they'll get, what kind of image they'll get, you know. They don't want anything that could potentially go against their brand vision. And like, don't get me wrong, branding is a very important part of running a business, but they also very stubbornly refuse to adapt to the times, as pretty much every other game publisher have at this point.
Huzzah!
Whee!
This is the BBC. That's what it feels like to me.
Nice. Just watching the wildlife, except the wildlife are robots.
Yeah. Journey, cracking game.
I love Journey.
I don't think I'm going to have enough to get the rest of the artifacts.
Oh well.
I guess we'll see once we get there.
There we go, the base model PS4. Like the PS4, I think that had 2 revisions, didn't it? It had the one that was just like a standard PS4 but slimmer, and then they had the PS4 Pro, which was the one with like a big performance boost.
Ooh. What could it possibly be?
It sounds terrifying. No, not Knight's Journey of Dreams, a different journey. I never did play that. Like, well, actually, I think I played like a couple of levels of that, but never really got into it at the time.
Right.
It's just one of them games that I think I didn't really get as a child, and didn't get around to re-looking into Knights until much later when like the HD version came out of the original.
Lost some weight, but none of the magic.
I think the PS3 is the only time I've ever bought like a revised model of a console. Because it's like, you know, if there's a performance boost that's like really being utilised, then like it's worth it. But other than that, I just don't really see the point. And the PS4 Pro, I think, came out a bit late for developers to make proper use of the enhanced specs.
Alright, final boss time.
Yeah, let's go for it. Well, actually, I think there's a couple of things you can collect in the main pub area, aren't there, if you do a bit of platforming up? I think we skipped that, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, we got a little bit of platforming left before we move on to the final boss.
More coins will help. Very cool. There's our speed runs, should you want them.
Now, one very subtle little detail that I didn't notice until I was a little way into this game is there's parts of the floor and wall textures here that, if you look very closely at them, have the PlayStation button icons, like the cross, circle, square and triangle. And it's arranged in the same layout that, if you have a very close look at your PlayStation 5 controller, is actually what creates that little, like, the rough texture on it. Like, and it's just such a subtle little detail, especially since the controller itself is like a white colour, that you might not notice until much later on.
Fascinated by the smallest things, eh, Flame?
I am, because it's like little details. That's why I said I like this game in particular. Like, the soul is that little extra bit of love that they didn't have to give it, but they did. So it's something that I'll always appreciate in game design.
Well, there you go. Flame said it succinctly better than I could. I finally got him to express emotion.
I'm not completely soulless, I'm just kind of a miserable prick sometimes.
Sometimes. Boom.
Like, that's the cynical way of putting this, Adrian. It's shameless product placement. It's a celebration. It's a free game that they're using to market their new system. And I think it does a very good job at both doing that and also giving something for fans of their other games to sink their teeth into. So, like, yeah, you can give it a cynical overview, but it's a great fucking game.
I mean, it's a good game before being, you know, a celebration, so is that really a bad thing?
Like, obviously this was a game designed to fit a purpose, and I understand that. But it does that purpose and so much more. Yeah. Now, I see one over on the left there, yeah. You nearly fucked that, didn't you?
Nope. I was cool as a cucumber.
You got all 4 from the hub world then?
Nope. I'm just checking to make sure I haven't missed any down here.
Alright. There it is. For some reason that's listed as number 1 in the guide, so I guess more people are usually more curious when we first get into the game than we were.
Yeah.
What's the best Pringles flavour? Odd question, but I would say sour cream and onion.
Yeah, either that or salt and vinegar for me.
I remember I forget what it's called, but there's a barbecue one that I like as well. Can't really go wrong with Pringles, let's be real.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, 4 or 4.
That's one. Texas barbecue, I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Alright, into the question mark void world.
Going back in time.
1 year before I was born.
Jesus Christ.
Oh god, any chance to rub it in I'm gonna take, and you know that.
Ken's. Very cool. Obviously, Ken Kutagari. Kutaragi.
This many memory cards would have cost a fucking fortune.
Really? I mean, if you're in the PlayStation dimension, you can just summon them.
I guess. They're not as expensive as the VMUs, I'll give them credit for that, from what I remember.
I remember playing Demo 1, seeing like all the CG stuff, ow, you motherfucker, through someone else's copy of the thing. I never owned it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, only a few months and it will be the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation.
Jesus.
Let's drop as many things as we can to celebrate the passage of time while making Tom feel old. You know, we're closer to 2030 than 2015.
Why do you have to be like this?
Because I am the babby here, and I also have just over 2 more years before I am 30 and therefore officially old.
Jesus Christ. Oh, there we go.
Look, you're gonna get a good few years to rub it in as well that I don't have any ground to stand on when that happens, and I will have to wait those really uncomfortable few years until you're 40th.
Let's hope I make it to 40. Alright, here we go.
Yeah. So here's our lad. I appreciate the little attention to detail that we're now in 4 to 3 for this section.
I like his textures are wobbling and whatnot, because that's just kind of how textures worked on the PS1.
I like that, because like for this they could have very easily done a thing where they literally just take a low poly model like it would have looked like on the PS1.
Yeah.
But I feel like the balance they've hit here is, this is, if you were a child who saw a PS1 game at this time, this is probably how it would have looked in your imagination, you know? That's kind of the feeling they're going for here.
Yeah. Okay, I have more health. Aha! I win!
I was just getting distracted because Mump's just posted in chat what looks like a Digimon equivalent of a Tamagotchi kind of thing, and I don't think I've ever seen one of these before.
Really? That's what basically all Digivices are.
Yeah, but I didn't follow the series, I just saw the monsters getting posted all over the place, and the fact that they've made like real ones seems cool.
Well, alright. I guess this is like the PS5 version of the T-Rex.
Yeah, it's like contrasting how it was versus how it is now.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I think it's still firing PS1 discs though. Which is odd because I don't think the PS5 can run PS1 games off the disc, it's just like the download version. Which is something that I learned a little while later, that the PS3, despite the later models of it not being able to run PS2 games from a disc, they could run PS1 games from a disc. Which was kind of a weird inconsistency.
Platinum, baby.
Not my fucking tongue. Poor bastard. Just wanted to have fun, Tom.
Well, here we are. I think I finished that underestimate as well.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really have an estimate for this one, but it was a lot faster than I remembered it being.
Yeah.
Which probably means that my old LP of it that I used as reference, I spent more time dawdling than I remembered.
Nah. May it haunt you forever, Flame.
It will, don't worry. Got similar kind of electronic production to it, to speak for your heart.
Yeah, a little bit.
And just smashing up all the people's names as they come by, so it's got a similar kind of thing.
What a wonderful game. Just a great celebration of, you know, Sony as a whole, which I had a lot more of a emotional connection to than I remembered prior to playing this game. But, you know, I have owned every console. While I haven't really been super big into their handheld stuff, their console stuff makes up a big part of my gaming history.
That's fair. Like, obviously, I've talked about how I don't have the same connection to it that you do. But even then, like, I look at a game like this and I get it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I get why people love this stuff. I get why people have such a connection to all these different games that they're referencing. And it also does tempt me a bit to dig into the back catalogue a bit more.
There you go.
But yeah, the reason we're hanging around there is a post-credits scene as well for this.
Not in the way you're thinking. Not in the Marvel way.
Nah, well, I think the most recent Marvel film I've watched is the Spider-Man one, so, you know, I'm kind of out of touch with it.
Fair enough, mate. I definitely recommend Guardians.
Okay.
Guardians 3. Thank you for playing.
I think Spa might still be AFK eating its lunch, so we might need to let the long credits play as well.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. These people worked on the game. They can have some credit for what they contributed.
Contributed. Here you go. Here's my name. Put it in the credits.
Well, modern games, the credits get longer and longer as there's more and more different things that need to be worked on along the lines, aren't there?
There we go. Ken Kutaragi. I got it right, eventually.
Yeah, the Mighty Number 9 credits are probably the longest in any game. Like, if you let them play out, it's just around 4 hours long, I recall.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, it's a very slowly scrolling thing.
It's
but
a scrotum game, is what it is.
Well, that too, but also because it was a Kickstarter game and they included every single person who donated to the Kickstarter in it, it takes 4 hours to scroll through them all. And there's a reason why a lot of modern Kickstarters nowadays, like the incentive for your name in the credits is like a slightly higher amount, just so that everyone who dropped $1 in doesn't get like taking up even more time in the long scroll at the end.
Fair enough.
Yeah, even the anonymous ones, the people who didn't give a name, for some reason they still credited them as like Mighty Number whatever and then anonymous.
Now that's the couple point where you're just like unwilling to pare stuff down a little bit.
It's because it scrolls so slowly as well. Like they could have just got more names on the page at once and not took the fucking piss like that, but they didn't. But like that is the least of Mighty Number 9's problems. So I know we're splitting hairs here a bit. Like, as for actual games that people are actually likely to want to play, I know that a lot of the AAA ones are going for a while now. Like both God of War and Spider-Man go on for about half hour each. And so does Sonic Colors Ultimate.
I wouldn't know. I haven't played it.
You missed nothing.
I was actually surprised to see Sky complaining about it. He was like, they took I forget whether he said 8 or 9 game and made it like a 6.
Yeah, the problem is that pretty much every change they made, aside from the frame rate, was a downgrade in some way. Like they were trying to make it not just a direct port. They wanted to add their own flair to it. But the problem is, like the new Wisps, a lot of them just break and randomly kill you. The new art style, you know, that's more of a subjective thing overall, but I feel like a lot of people were a bit upset that it was a lot darker, and so it kind of defeated the object of having this game built around a colourful amusement park. It's like, if you don't have a Wii and you want to play Sonic Colors, it's there and it's okay. But like, if you have a Wii, play the Wii version. Like, and all things considered, no matter what sort of situation you're in, don't get the Switch one, because that is actively worse than the Wii one in a lot of ways. Even like, because it performs at the same frame rate, so it's not even like you're getting a fair trade-off, and the load screens are worse somehow.
Love how we devolved to just talking about Sonic when there's nothing else to talk about.
I mean, it's either that or Pokemon, let's be real here.
Or Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
Yeah, but me less so with that one, because I got filtered by the first game.
You sure did, Flame.
Look, I gave it a fair try. I weren't going to be an arsehole about it. I wanted to give it a shot, and it just wasn't for me. You know, that's all I can say about it. No, nothing against the game, it's just not for me.
Wow, imagine that. Being able to just say, no, it's not for me, and leave it at that.
Well, I mean, anyone who likes it is an awful person unless you feel bad.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, we have 110 call points now.
No, we get like 3 retweets, and that's like enough to satisfy our ego for another day.
Oh, that'd do me for a month, honestly.
No, that's like what you've got to read into. When you see criticism of things online, a lot of people see social media engagement as a kind of currency, and that's how they thrive, and that's how they get their attention. So if someone's blatantly trying to shame fans of a thing for liking a thing, that's quite often very intentional, because they know then people will argue with them, and it's not worth engaging, because you're just playing into their hands at that point.
Okay, I get you. And lesson I should really take to heart one of these days.
Yeah, it's like, if people are doing something for attention, then don't give them attention.
Yeah, Flame.
What? Like, you're the one who takes my bait all the fucking time.
Hard pressed to call it bait, really.
Well, that's just a double insult, because it's shit bait that works.
Well, no, it's more like a cry for help. Like, you can't really troll very well, to be honest.
I agree. And by that, I mean I'm not taking what you're laying down right now. But Seth is setting up, so...
Okay.
You know.
Skip. One more thing. There was a generation we skipped out there. I'll get over the fact you described this as a post-credits thing.
It's a thing that happens after the credits.
I mean, you're not wrong.
What else am I meant to fucking call it?
Thing that comes after the credits.
Them headphones are actually pretty good, by the way.
I have heard good things. Gigaboots did their PlayStation 5 launch day stream. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, see, like, for me personally, when I'm playing games, if I'm using, like, headphones, I will just use, like, the Audio-Technica ones that we use for our recording and stuff, because that is just something that I'm comfortable with now. But the PlayStation 5 ones that I think I got with it as a bundle, like it was the only PS5 option at the time. Like, I got that. They have really good sound quality, and I ended up giving them to my dad to use with his iPad, because he likes to listen to music in the evening sometimes.
Okay.
You're going into space, because it is the future here.
Oh.
There it is.
Not so fast, Kaiba. It looks like Seto Kaiba.
No.
Number 5 is alive.
So I think the version you unlock here depends which version of the console you're playing on, whether you're using the version that supports discs or the digital one, which is a neat little touch. Don't buy digital-only consoles, by the way, guys.
No.
They might be cheaper up front, but not being able to get pre-owned games for them will cost you a lot more in the long run.
It sure will, Flame. Astro bot. I still don't have the PS1. That is weird. I'm pretty sure I picked it up at one point, but I guess no.
No, you picked up like the little travel kit thing that had the screen on it, but you didn't get the console itself. I think the console itself is in the gacha.
Nice. The coins, that is. Astro bot. Oh.
You kind of got to gamble a bit more. All the move stuff.
Hey, there it is.
There we go. Is that all the alternate versions of consoles we get? I think we got both the other PS4s, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
We're yet to see what's to come for other PlayStation 5 versions, but you know they're gonna revise it eventually, they always do.
Congratulations, Seeker, you found every artifact.
Well done. Now you can actually climb up there and get a good look, can't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I want to finish all the things on the walls as well. I need about 400 coins. I need about 350.
Well, are there any up the top? Because I know they've built out like a specific platforming sections for you to climb up the consoles to get to it.
Not that I can see, no.
No, that's a shame.
Thankfully, there is stuff in the main area.
Good point, yeah.
Just to give Spar a little bit more time.
Yeah, works for me. Yeah, people talking about having mod chips on consoles. That's a lot harder to get away with now that all the consoles are online and they can tell if you've been fucking around with the system.
Aye.
Although I say that, I think my favourite hardware modding thing that I've seen out of any console mods that really... Are you familiar with what they call the Kamikaze mod for the Xbox 360?
I can't say that I am, mate, no.
Okay, it was basically the mods that they would do to like remove the region lock and remove like the limit on playing burned copies of discs. So, but because of how the 360 security system was, it was deliberately crudely slapped on the Mobo, like the particular chip that stopped that. So it wasn't just like you could take one thing out, it was like there was glue smothered all over it, and if you tried to like pick it out you would end up breaking something. But what people discovered is that if they get a specific diagram, they get specific coordinates that they print out and line everything up, there's one point that if you put like a fucking drill bit through this mod chip, it breaks it. And so you got all these people with like their fucking massive drills just not really knowing what they're doing, but they've got a guide off the internet and drilling into it. And for a lot of them, it actually fucking worked.
But why?
Well, I suppose they just really wanted to play copies of games.
Okay. I wonder if the speed runs give me coins. Let's have a look here.
I'm not sure, but it's worth a try. Yeah, Spot says you'll be ready in about 5 minutes.
That's all the time I need, baby.
See you in an hour then, we've got a speed run.
Jesus.
This is more typical, like 3D platforming, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. This is a great speed run.
You give that one another shot. It's when you get to this level in particular with this mechanic that the Mario Sunshine comparisons become a little bit more obvious.
I'll just check one of the levels.
Yeah, that might be something that we need a little bit more practice for. Like, I think you can just do one portion of it, quit out, and keep the coins, right? Mm-hmm. Good shit.
Thankfully, I only need about 200 or so.
Yeah. We'll just do all this, grind up on a speed like one shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, people were making the Speak With Your Heart comparisons earlier during the credits song and that, but this is probably the one that's closest, given it's got like the keyboard voice box going on as well. Well, that's something that Cash likes to play around with a lot around that sort of era.
Oh, for sure. Game's done casually. Yeah, that says alright.
Yeah, sometimes I treat people with a special showcase of games done poorly. Chasing the gold, we can see it all up there.
Got him eventually.
Yeah. Like, you didn't even need to kill him, you could have just ran on to where the next coins were, but nah, fuck it.
Alas for him.
Get in there. They must be brand new PS4 controller triggers by the fact that they actually still have a bit of resistance in them.
God, man, that's true.
It's like, I think for both of mine, that was like the first thing that went. You pull on the trigger and it's got, like, it just feels like there's nothing. Bit of a ballsy jump, but you got them.
Why the birds? I don't entirely get it.
Yeah, well, they got to fire something at you.
I guess they do. Okay. But having a minor panic attack, 3 strokes and a heart attack. That's why I like to call a good day.
That's a little bit concerning, Tom. Don't be real with you.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. As real gangsters, we don't care about health conditions. Or like real
the term we're
wanksters.
looking for is. I think the term we're looking for is fucking idiots who don't bother getting things treated.
Yeah, maybe.
Spar said he's good to go whenever, so we've just got to buy our goodies and then we can hand over. Yeah, to anyone curious, Spar's going to be on next playing through Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. It's going to be a full run, because last time we streamed out on the channel, that was our randomizer run, which was an interesting time. I'll say full run, but he did mention that he's been practicing some speedrun skips, so you might see some interesting things done out of order.
Neat. Or should I say ook ook?
Could say that. Could make all kinds of monkey noises.
I am a monkey. I move with purpose.
Please monkey carefully.
Monkey dead.
probably cover you, but you can still get up to the top here just to be sure. Bonk.
Freaking sweet.
Yeah, you see that big coin, you kind of gotta go for it.
That was not what I wanted to do. But you know what? It loads so fast, it really doesn't matter.
Nah.
Actually, that might have been faster.
Maybe, actually. Like, not really sure, but let's see whether we got enough now.
I counted at least 4 orbs in there, but there may have been like a thingamabob, a tin can in there as well.
Maybe, yeah.
I have to dance.
Bruce is excited to see his most frequent customer.
Of course he is. Well, he exists as a gacha machine. I'm just trying to help him.
Yeah.
Boomerang controller.
Not the boomerang controller. Well done.
Thank you, thank you. Take a break and enjoy the fun and colourful history of PlayStation.
That mule's a little bit of an eyesore, but at least it's got cool shit on
God. You're so anti-art, it's actually kind of hilarious.
Alright, anti-art, I just don't like this particular piece of art.
Exactly what I said, Flame. I said what I mean, and I mean what I said.
Okay, Cal fan.
Yes, I am a Cal Art stan. Sorry, mate.
I'm just saying. Go on, floss up there. You know you want to. So that is art.
You know what, Flame? In the end, you're right. You're always right. Alright, folks, that'll do it for us today. Coming up next, we have Metroid Prime Echoes with Spar as the runner and Mumph as the co-com. Please give as generously as you can. We gotta make it to that next milestone of 3K for Child's Play. Hope you enjoyed the run. See you next time for more of HFC All-Stars.